Podcasting, the latest frontier. These are the episodes of a Catch as Catch Can podcast. Its continuing mission: to explore strange, nerdy topics, to chat about sports, movies, sci-fi, and so much more. To boldly pod where this nerd has gone before. Captain's log, pod date 0714.19. On this episode of To Boldly Pod, we're going to take at the latest buzzworthy social media topic that is storming Area 51. I'm also going to send out a plea to my fellow Doctor Who fans, more specifically the newer Doctor Who fans. We're going to ever so quickly sort of kind of revisit an old sports topic about tanking. We have a great To Boldly Pod question to share with all of you this week, and we're going to take a look at what's in the news. So Scotty, set phasers on stun, engage. Now, one thing that the world of social media has given us is stuff that becomes buzzworthy, stuff that becomes all the rage, if you will. And this week, the buzzworthy social media topic seems to be the latest trend of invading Area 51. And if you're not sure what it is, there's a petition going around on Facebook that you can sign to join up with people to invade Area 51 to see what's going on there. And if you're not sure what Area 51 is, it's the military base in Nevada that allegedly holds UFOs and aliens from other planets. And people are signing a petition to join up in the Nevada desert and storm the troops. So let's read a little bit about what it is. I won't get into the whole thing, but more than 400,000 people have signed on to a Facebook event pledging to raid Nevada's Area 51, a site long believed to be the secret alien holding site, on a mission to finally see them aliens. As reported by Newsweek, the event, which was given the name Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us, suggests that people from around the world gather in the Nevada desert to invade the site located about 88 miles by road northwest of Las Vegas. Okay, there you have the gist of it. Now, you all know of my fascination with the paranormal, and you all know that I had an unexplained experience, a UFO experience in my youth. I've talked about it here on this podcast and others. So, you know that I have a general belief in some things of the paranormal variety, and you might think to yourself, well, Dan would be all for this petition to storm Area 51. But you know what? No, I'm actually not. And the reason might kind of surprise you a little. It's not that I don't want to know what, if anything, they have there in Area 51. But you know what? It is a military base. So why would I want to put my life in harm's way? I mean, am I going to die on the cross for something I believe in? Probably not in this case. Other things, maybe. Aliens and UFOs, I'm going to believe my own eyes over putting my life at risk to find out whether conclusively aliens and UFOs are real. Do I condone What's going to happen? Not really. I mean, in my younger days, and I hate to say that now that I'm getting older because I always didn't ever want to say in my younger days, but in my younger days, I wanted to go to Area 51 and check things out. I wanted to go to Roswell and check out Roswell before it became an Uber tourist trap. And I probably still would like to do those things. But you know what I would do if I was ever at Area 51? I would go up to that sign that says, "No trespassing beyond this point, violators will be shot." I wouldn't cross that sign because you know what? As much as I want to know the truth, I also don't want to get shot. And here's the other point to all of that. I don't want to get arrested to find out the truth. I would rather just wait and hopefully eventually find out that what I saw was what I think I saw. So, do I think those people should do that? No. Do I hold it against them for having this petition and trying it? No. I mean, it's sort of become a running joke and gag with a lot of people on social media and even in late night talk show comedians and memes and everything, and some of them are funny, and I respect their desire to want to find out what's there, but do I really think you should storm the gates of Area 51 to quote, "They can't stop us all"? No, I really don't, because what's the point? Learning whether aliens are in Area 51, if they have UFOs in Area 51, is that really worth your life? I mean, I guess if you're that passionate about it, go for it, I suppose. But me, I saw what I saw. I believe what I saw. I believe what I believe. Do I need to put my life at risk to prove that to the masses? No, I don't. Am I willing to wait to see? Yes, I am. But hey, if you do it, good luck. I hope you get in. I hope you get some answers. No. I'm good breathing. So I don't want to make light of it, which I kind of have a little bit here in this segment. But if you have signed the petition, if you plan on going to the Storm Area 51, let me know on Facebook or Twitter at TooBoldlyPod. And when and if the event happens, and if you go, I'll have you on here and we'll discuss what you found. Now, this week's sporting topic is going to be short and sweet, and those of you that listen to this podcast each and every week, you're going to think he keeps going back to this topic, and it's because I keep getting my ire drawn by it, and we're going back to the topic of rebuilding. And I'm not going to talk about rebuilding this time. We're just going to go on what actually drew my ire. And as you all know, I'm a fan of the Detroit Tigers, and they're kind of going through a little bit of a rebuild at this point. They're not doing so well. Matter of fact, they're projected now for the second half of the season to end up as the worst team in baseball, possibly even historically bad. But that is what it is, because as I previously stated, they are currently rebuilding. Now, that being said, they're not winning a lot of games, and I don't know why I put myself through this angst, but occasionally you see the recaps on social media or online, and then I'm an idiot and I start reading people's comments. So, as I stated, they're not winning very much, and they kind of got blown out the other day, and like an idiot that I am, I started reading the comments after the box score on Facebook, and most of them are, your standard angry fan comment. And then I get to this one guy, and he's like, blow it up, blow the whole thing up. Okay, idiot, whoever you are. I don't even remember what your name was now, but Are you an actual fan, or do you just go onto these sites and comment trolling people, trying to get people angry? Because you know what? If you are a fan, or even if you're a mildly passive observer of sports and baseball in general, you would already know that the Tigers have blown it up and are currently rebuilding. Hence the reason they currently suck. So do yourself and all of us a favor and go blow up your troll game. Blow the whole thing up, because you know what? It sucks. If you have any comments, or maybe you just want to troll me, let me know on Facebook or Twitter at Too Boldly Pod. As you all know, we like to have a little bit of fun each time we do one of these podcasts by posing a question to my friends on social media and sharing their responses to said question. This week, I have to thank my friend Narek for giving me the question to offer up to everybody, and we got a ton of great responses to it. The question is, what is a weird food combination you love that other people think are gross? Now, I'll go ahead and give you my answer first as sort of an example of what we're talking about here. My weird food combination is I like to add steak sauce, A1 specifically, to my macaroni and cheese. Now, I don't have macaroni and cheese a lot, but when I do, I like to dump a little A1 in there. And we got a ton of great responses to this question, so we will just run through the list as we get them. Doug answered spaghetti and peanut butter. Andy answered ketchup and bananas. Kelly replied applesauce on usually cheap pizza. I haven't eaten it lately, but I loved it as a kid. Dawn answered rice, corn, and A1 steak sauce. Noelle replied salsa and cheese on my ramen noodles. Laura replied peanut butter, jelly, and mustard. Deb replied ketchup on bologna sandwiches. Fresh Parmesan cheese on Granny Smith apples. Yum. Janet replied mustard on egg sandwiches. JJ replied peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. Kimber replied, I mix ketchup in my mustard potatoes until they're pink. It's delicious, but everyone thinks I'm gross for liking it. It's no different than putting ketchup on fries or hash browns. Good point, Kimber. Shirley replied peanut butter on a dill pickle sandwich. Nikki replied plain donuts with a slice of cheddar cheese, savory and sweet. Noreen replied apple or cherry pie with a big hunk of cheddar cheese. Marty replied hash browns, fried egg, topped with ketchup. I could get behind that one. Sandshoes replied, mine as a kid was toast with mustard and jalapenos. Grossed everyone else out, but still sounds pretty fantastic to me right now. Angela replied homemade mac and cheese with cottage cheese on top. Marlene replied cottage cheese with Thousand Island salad dressing. Cinnamon replied cottage cheese with French dressing. And Tiffany replied potato chips and ketchup, which is also something that I used to do as a child. So good memory is struck there, Tiffany. I also asked on Instagram, and I got a few answers. Kayla replied, maybe the most interesting one. In middle school, I would always dip chocolate chip cookies in nacho cheese. Don't knock it till you try it. I converted several people. That's interesting, all right. Cecilia replied cottage cheese and Italian dressing. And Stephanie replied fries and mayo. So thank you all for your answers to this week's Too Boldly Pod question. Thank you to my friend Narek for giving it to us. And if you have an odd food combination that you'd like to share, let us know on Facebook or Twitter at Too Boldly Pod. Now, you all know I'm a big fan of the show Doctor Who, and I'm constantly watching and rewatching the episodes, and since it's been on for 50 plus years, it takes quite a while to rewatch a lot of them. Much like people that reread books or the Bible or whatnot. Did I just call my love of Doctor Who a religion? I think it kind of is. But anyways, I don't always watch, like every night I don't sit down and watch episodes, but I get in spurts where I'll watch some episodes, and I like to at least explain in my own head or to myself that I'm studying the thing that I love, getting to know it even better. And I've seen every single episode at least 2 or 3 times to this date, and I still continue to watch them. That just shows you how much I love it. Now, currently I am, and I don't always watch them in order, but for the most part, I kind of take chunks out periodically and watch them, or go by a singular doctor and watch his episodes. And as you might imagine, it does take quite a bit of time to do that. So currently I am rewatching the 6th Doctor of, there are currently 13 as of 2019, so that tells you how long ago this was. The 6th Doctor's episodes aired in the early to mid 1980s, and initially I was going to come on here and sort of rant about how annoying a couple of the companions of the 6th Doctor were, but as I started this, something else really sort of came to mind that I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about and hopefully inspire some people to possibly do. And before I even get into it, if you are interested in what I'm about to say, depending on where you're at on the globe, I know here in the States, if you're interested in watching the older Doctor Who's before the 2005 rebirth, you can find them all available on Amazon Prime. And actually, it's a thing called the Brit Box that you can get from Amazon Prime to watch. I'm not sure if it's available in other areas or not, but they have all the old Doctor Who's and a whole bunch of other great British television shows available to watch. So there's probably other avenues that aren't quite so, quote, legal that you can probably find to watch them too, but I'm not professing that you do that. Just if that's what you do, that's what you do. But anyways, my point is I know when the show was reborn in 2005 that it drew a bunch of new fans to it. So what I wanted to come on here and say is if you love the new Doctor Who episodes, whether it be from the 9th Doctor till current, and you're interested in the series in general, I would suggest to you that you get the Brick Box or some other avenue. Find the older episodes of Doctor Who and watch them. Now, you must keep in mind that was a totally different era in television, even sort of more so in Britain than here in America, but it was a different era, so your effects are going to be much more cheesy. But you know what? Of all things, the cheesy effects and sets and even acting to some extent aside, the stories of those old Doctor Who's, in my opinion, still stand the test of time and really, really give you a great grasp of how excellent and how meaningful this series is. And the other point I wanted to make about whether you're a new Whovian, I know Sandshoes and I used to talk about how we dislike that phrase on Nerding Out with Sandshoes and Granddad, but if you're a new fan of Doctor Who from 2005 to present, I implore you to go back and watch the old Doctor Who episodes if for nothing else, it gives you a good historical background to some of the characters and aliens and creatures and storylines that occur here in the current Doctor Who episodes. Now, I know they don't bring back a lot of the old monsters from the old Doctor Who, but occasionally they do, and it gives you a good historical updating. Brings you up to date, I suppose, as to what exactly the backstories of all of these characters and creatures and monsters are. So, if you're a fan of Doctor Who, and maybe you do want to come on here and rap about a certain doctor or monster or alien or just the show in general, let me know on Facebook or Twitter at Too Boldly Pod, and I think it's pretty obvious that I would love to return to this topic. And in the news, and I know a lot of people have heard this, but you know what? If you haven't, strap yourself in. This comes from KMOV CBS 4, and the headline is, Illinois mom arrested after driving with kids on roof of a car in an inflatable pool. An Illinois mother was arrested after allegedly driving around with her daughters inside the pool on top of her car. According to the Dixon Police Department, officers got the bizarre report Tuesday afternoon after a local resident spotted the car. Officers searched the area and spotted the young lady driving a white Audi Q5 on Route 2 with a blue inflatable pool on top of her car. Authorities said the lady's young daughters were inside the pool to hold the pool down as she drove home from a friend's house. Yeager was charged with 2 counts of endangering the health or life of a child and 2 counts of reckless conduct. Police also cited the Illinois mother for failure to secure a passenger between the ages of 8 and 16. So, have you heard this? If not, are you sitting there right now thinking, the hell is wrong with mankind? And that wraps up this episode of Too Boldly Pod. I hope you enjoyed the topics that we discussed today. Coming up, hopefully next week, I'm going to try to narrow down Rob. But today is the 1-year anniversary of him and I investigating the Paulding Lights phenomenon. So I want to get him on here so we can talk about it 1 year later. Also, I've kind of been teased for my own podcast. My buddy Dave says he has something that he wants to come on here and discuss. And as usual, I don't have a closer for this show, but with the Area 51 thing being so buzzworthy, I'll leave you all with this. The truth is out there, Mulder. You just have to know where to look. Talk to all of you next time.
WLLP Spock Rock Radio.